Hello everyone, Bridget with Altenew. I'm here to walk you through layering for the Build a Garden Rocktrumpet stamp, die, and stencil set. In this set, you will receive the Rocktrumpet outline stamp set with lots of sentiments, a 6-piece simple coloring and layering stencil set, lots of different sizes this month to help us color our image. On the back, you can see an image of all of the stencils included, a project that has been completed and the supplies used to do so, a mini ink blending tool, and for an additional purchase in the shop, there is the Rocktrumpet add-on die set that will cut the outline as well as the bold phrases. Let's have a look at the layering guide that comes with your stamp set. On the back, you're going to see there's a coordinating stencil set. There are 2 full-size card examples on the inside. There they are right there. And on the back, you can see the inks used and other supplies in addition. In the center, you'll see the layering guide for the stamp set with the inks used right there for the image completed right there. And each of the stencil openings, you'll see the ink colors coordinate with the inks listed above. We will now get started in putting together our Rocktrumpet. We will begin with stencil number 1. I will tape my stencil into place and I will begin ink blending with pink diamond ink. There are 2 sections on this stencil. We will be doing the top flowers first, and then there's a section where there's a flower and a bud down at the bottom. So please pay close attention to that when coloring. I am cleaning my stencil off as I move between sections today. I want to make sure not to have any excess ink get loose while I am coloring. Now we're moving on to stencil number 2. On stencil number 2, we will be using Pinkalicious for all of the openings on the stencil. In some of the openings, there are pieces that are very delicate. I like to hold those with my fingernail or with a bone folder to keep them in place to not only add the detail to my image, but as well to protect my stencil while I'm using it. We'll finish up putting on our Pinkalicious, and we will move on to stencil number 3. There are 2 sections on stencil 3. On the top section, we will use Razzleberry for the top flower. We will clean the stencil and we will move it into position for the bottom 3 flowers, and we will again use Razzleberry ink for all of the openings there. Moving on to stencil number 4, this stencil will cover some of the leaves for us, and I will be using Sweet Leaf for the green on this. I do like to add extra color or come in with my blending tool where it would likely be darker in case I have too much ink on my blending tool. I also like to be in that habit in case there's not a layer later on that will address the area that I have colored. It adds depth and dimension all on its own. It's a good habit to be in. For this stencil, number 5 on the bottom, we are going to be using Eucalyptus. And you'll notice I have put tape in strategic places because the stencil opening goes close to the edge of the stencil and I don't want to go off the stencil. We are now moving to the top of stencil 5 and we'll be using Forest Fern. And again, I have tape at about the midnight position up there in a strategic place to protect me when I'm ink blending to make sure I don't go off my project. Finally, we'll move to stencil number 6 where there are 3 separate sections. Again, I'm putting tape at midnight and down at about 6 o'clock to protect myself while I am ink blending Sea Forest on the left-hand side of the stencil. That's the first section. We'll now remove that, clean it, and I will do this singular leaf, which is in the top right-hand side of stencil number 6. And again, I'm adding darkness where I think it would be darker, just for added depth and dimension in addition to what the stencil provides. Again, I've put that tape at midnight to protect me. I'm now putting on Mangrove Root, and this is the center openings of the stencil. Now that we have that complete, please check out some inspiration from our amazing designers. To find out more about Build a Garden, Rocktrumpet, and other available products, please visit us at altenew.com.